I was just saying that sometimes having self-worth is really annoying because this self-worth thing, it just really stops you from sometimes having a good time. Do you know what I mean? Like everyday self-worth, everyday know your worth. Sometimes I don't want to know my worth. Sometimes, I just want to get my back low now.
I met this girl years ago. Only she could say something like that and make it sound so good. You know what's so funny as well?
Yo. We're back. Gabz TV.
Come on. You know what's going on.
It's been an eventful week, boy.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on.
It's been nice. It's been good.
For me, the boxing, boy.
AJ.
That one finished me still.
Yeah. AJ is a tricky one, you know. I feel like the guy's made too much money. The hunger ain't in him. You know what I'm saying? I think it's nice that he's out to prove that, he can still do this and he wants to retain that. But sometimes when you're doing commercials and you're doing business deals, the intensity is probably not there as much. I'm not saying I was there in his training camp, so I don't really know. But, like when you're no different from Tyson, it's not in you anymore. And to be fair, a lot of the times it probably wasn't in you from the beginning. It's just that at the time, it had to be in you because that's how you felt and you need to get out of it. When you're saying someone's making 60 million, 120 million, 100 million, my guy, if I made 100 million, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
I'm not fighting.
I would, like, if you called me out, but it's not the same as when I had £200, is it? You know what I'm saying? But he's still a good fighter, though. It's just unfortunate, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate that Dubois was hungry.
Yeah, he come out like Mike Tyson, bro.
He was hungry.
Yeah.
AJ. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I was shocked though. I didn't expect him to get knocked out like that.
It felt so one-sided.
To be fair, I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched highlights.
It felt so
one-sided.
Highlights were basically the fight.
It's hard to say that. Is it easy to say that AJ's not on it? Because see how he moves. He moves so like calm in every. Even when he wins, he ain't doing no beating his chest and that. He's just like a cool cat.
You know what? I will tell you a story. Yeah. What that fight was like the day we tried to rush Anthony Yard in school. He'll tell you this story. And obviously, Anthony Yard is younger than us. So I'm looking at him like I know you from the ends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's a dancer.
Let me just stick it on you.
He's dancing all the time.
Me like a fool. I think everyone's clocked that the way this guy's standing, like he's on some Muay Thai thing. Like I don't think even them times he was even doing boxing like that.
Nah, but he's always been a bit athletic.
Yeah.
He had a cousin in DP.
Yeah.
He was like a hench. He had a cousin in DP that was like a kind of like a roughneck.
Yeah.
But he was a dancehall man. Anthony Yard is a dancehall man.
I've stepped to him and I've tried to grab him. This guy's hit me with 1-1-2 combo.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, rah. And I've never seen someone punch so fast in my life. Because it wasn't like I was far away. I was really close to him. He just because he's smaller than me at that time anyway. I was like, cool. So when I saw that Dubois beating on AJ, I was like, fam, this just gave me nightmares. Like, someone young, just crazy energy, just jumping all over you. That was the fight. So the highlights was pretty much it. But I think AJ will bounce back, but
of course he will.
I just don't
think he.
I don't know if the hunger's there.
I don't think the hunger's there for him. And I'm sure he's got so many other business ventures that he's. And you try to make yourself believe that this is not about the money, it's about your pride. But sometimes, I mean, once you've hit the mountain, I respect it, like defend the mountain, but what are you really defending? Like, is your sole focus on boxing?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Dubois' sole focus is like they programmed him from young. Box.
Been fighting since he was 7.
So I'm saying, like, and I've been watching him, not watching him closely, but I've seen him in and around the boxing for a long time. So yeah, it's his time. But AJ, he's modeling now. He's got money and this and that. It's coming back.
You know what? Funny enough, we did see him. We saw him years ago when we went to go and see Anthony Yard fight at the Copper Box.
Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely saw him there.
He was there for Wrigley, yeah.
But
You saw Ant in the yard of AJ.
No, we saw Dubois back then.
Dubois, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. When
That's
Anthony invited us to his fight.
Yeah.
So in fact, see, so Dubois was even one of the,
Trust me.
Yeah. Shout out to Anthony Yard, man. He's a good brother still. He's a good brother. I've got a good few stories with him.
How's your week been though, man?
It's been good, you know. It's been good. I can't lie. It's, you know,
You
some
went to
unfortunate
Shake's?
things happened recently.
You went to a
I ain't gonna
Shake?
go into that. Yeah, I went to Shake. Went to the concert. You know, we went, and that was good. And luckily, as we got in, how you know how we do what we do by faith, God only. You know, if you get it, you get it. You don't get it. And Esther Falana blessed me still. Shout out to S. That's the homie. She blessed me. She invited me to her box. But like it wasn't her box, but it's like, you know, she's a celebrity in it, so she's amongst the YouTube world. She's a somebody. And the Femi, I don't know what his surname is.
Kiddohood one.
The kiddohood one, yeah, the African one. I was always moving scared. He showed me so much love. Esther showed me love anyway. Without Esther, I won't even be introducing to the guy. Esther's introducing me to this person, that person. There was even another girl that Esther introduced me to. I don't want to say her name for obvious reasons because she's probably not in the public eye. But she's the A&R like top dog in YouTube. And I met her 10 years ago with Big Dog, yo. I went with them to Amsterdam. Yeah. Because you know them lot, they're weirdos. They like ganja. I tried it, but it just didn't work out. I got a headache. I had to go get Hennessy and drink it inside the cafe. So like, yeah, I was with them lot and we met these group of girls and she was one of them. So when I saw her in the booth, I was looking at her thinking, because this is like, yeah, she does so YouTube. I'm like, I know this woman from somewhere, but I couldn't put my finger on it until we spoke, and I was like, no way, you know. So like, imagine that, you know. But Esther, yeah, shout out to Esther, shout out to Femi. He allowed me to come in. It was a promotion or something to do with Hennessy. I'm not too sure.
I think they done something at Carnival as well.
I don't know.
Actually, when we were at Dempsey's yard, you know that special bottle you lot were drinking from? The blue one. Blue Hennessy thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they were doing, the promotion for that.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, Femi's a big dog, innit? He's you know. So I was quite gassed, and I was so happy as to how humble he was. You know, he could have told us, nah, get out of our box, and he could have been moving a bit mad, but he was so cool with it. I was like, rah, man. Like, thanks, man. It's cool. And then the other guy came in as well. I saw there was another guy, I can't remember what his name is, but he's in one of the British films. And then the Man's Not Hot came in as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael Dapper.
We was trying to figure out that name from before. Michael Dapper, yeah. He came in. Yeah, and he came in one of the brethren that I know. Okay. But I see them together all the time though. I don't want to say his name. I see them together all the time, but like good people still. So that was it was alright. It was alright. And I got to speak to so many different people. Like it was mad. I was like, this person does a festival, this person does this. And it just felt good. It felt nice. And that was all because of Esther, you know. One time for Esther Falana. One time. She bust me still.
Yeah.
But Blanco been doing the same thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blanco. You know, Miss Blanco, by the way. I don't know, YouTuber, you don't know who she is. You know, she's been taking me around. She was showing me different things. Now, you know what? I respectfully, yeah. I know people have their own personal opinions about people and whatever else and da-da-da. But I've been getting a lot of love. I can't even lie. Yeah. If they've treated you bad, maybe you did something wrong.
Oh, like that?
Not like that, because I'm struggling to see how, let's say Femi's rude or Miss Blanco's rude or Esther Flano's rude. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see it. Cause all they do is show love. Like, and I embrace that love. So she's even got me, she's busting me on something tomorrow. And I ain't got to do nothing for her. Ain't like I've given her anything or doing the mad thing. Like, we just peoples. So, you know, and I even told Femi, I said to him, look, man, we're going to chat.
100%.
Try and test out my acting skills.
Acting skills. Gabz TV.
Yeah, so you know,
Yeah.
thank you to all of them. Thank you to all of them. Of course, we know how the thing goes. You know, sometimes in in this industry,
Enjoy it. That's
you
all I have to
enjoy the
say.
process, innit?
Enjoy it.
They might move mad later on. I don't know, but it's not gonna change the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, however mad they move, you know, they've bust me in it. So I'm gonna always respect that and appreciate that. If they do move mad, I don't think they would personally.
Yeah, you just got to remember who you are in it and don't get lost in the stew.
Oh, well, how
You
can
know what I
I?
mean?
How can I? You know, I'm born and
Nah,
bred
it's-
council estate, bro.
It's very easy to, man.
It is, but it's
And it's
different
not
when you're. It's
intentional.
different when you're coming into an industry where you're trying to like redefine yourself. I'm not coming to redefine myself. I'm coming as who I am. I didn't need to redefine myself. You know, I didn't come wanting or begging. I come looking for an opportunity. Do you know what I'm saying? So, by God's grace, they give me an opportunity in whatever it is that they're doing. If not, thank you for inviting me. Like, allow me to stay in your booth, innit? Like, what can I say?
Do you feel inspired?
When I saw him, yeah. Yeah. Cause I don't know his story like massively, but like for the fact that he's been in movies, success, he's in that industry, he's like, you know, like that's some OG kind of status. You know what I'm saying? Like remove him, put Chen Central in it, put Andy in it. As much as me and him, brethren, whatever else, I'm inspired. In this industry, you're like Chen Central, bro. This is a big deal. It's a big deal. Don't look at it as, oh yeah, well, yeah, he's from round the corner, he's from Forest Key. Oh yeah. Nah, it's a big deal. These guys are big deals. He's a somebody in this industry. And respectfully, I have the opportunity to speak to somebodies in the industry. Come on, man. You gotta eat humble pie. You know
Nah,
what
it's
I'm
good.
saying?
You give people their flowers straight
You
away.
got to, man. Like, well, come on. This ain't about who's got a bigger, yeah, or who's got more, yeah. This is about a newbie coming into an industry where there's people that are, I would say, somewhat vets in this thing. Man, look, man, let me just learn. Let me soak this all in. You know what I mean? So I have no problem with saying, you know, they're big dogs for me in that industry. You know what I'm saying? I'm a bucky to them. It's calm. Like, don't. Just thank you for even allowing me to speak to you, and I'm speaking to you like you're speaking back to me, like, bruh. Because you don't have to.
100%. Definitely don't.
You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
You know, so it's not, nah, thank you to all of them. All of them.
That's it, man.
Nah, real talk.
Alright, then let's get on to the videos, man. There's some funny videos that come out this week.
John,
Let's look at the first one.
I was just saying that sometimes having self-worth is really annoying because this self-worth thing, it just really stops you from sometimes having a good time. Do you know what I mean? Like everyday self-worth, everyday know your worth. Sometimes I don't want to know my worth. Sometimes, you know, I just want to get my back blown out. But because I know my worth.
Hey, you know what it is, yeah? Let me tell you something, yeah? Only Zizi can say something like that, yeah? And make it sound so good. Nah, seriously, I swear. I met this girl years ago. Only she could say something like that and make it sound so good. You know what's so funny as well? Even when I met her then, I met her at church. It might have been at uni, but I think what my recollection was church, KICC, back in the day. You know that African pastor? Can't remember what his name is. That's the guy. And she would talk the exact same way, only more in a Christian form, let's say, where you're less like, is it provocative? Like, but whereas now, yeah, she's saying it, but it's like she's saying the same thing in that word, saying the same way, but just saying it in a different form. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't scared to say her thoughts. This is why it's not new for me when I see her say stuff like that. You know, but shout out to Zizi. Her greatest feature is her lips. I must admit. Nah, she's got some nice lips. You got actually, you gotta lie. No, we was talking about it
No
earlier.
comment.
Look, man. Shout out to Zizi, but respectfully, yeah. We have to respect this thing of reputation. And sometimes what we allow is for our reputation to dictate how we operate. Your self-worth is something that you feel within yourself. Your reputation is something that you present to the world. That reputation needs to be maintained in order for people to take you seriously. But that doesn't mean that the reputation means it controls your life. Because if you're not careful, that thing controls your life too much, you're going to dislike your life. Because you live to people's expectations. Do you get what I'm saying? And when you live to people's expectations, Loso is really dangerous. No one's saying you can't have moments where you want to go wild. It shows you're human. No one's saying you don't have moments of vulnerability. It shows you're human. Your self-worth is not determined by your reputation or what people expect of you. Your self-worth is based on how you see yourself. So respectfully, if I'm telling you my self-worth is what it is, and well, I'm an educated block boy, you know, I do what I do, I am who I am, and you believe that my self-worth is worth 100 million, I could feel it's worth way more than that. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to base my self-worth on your 100 million. I'm going to base it on what I believe, which is that if you don't accept where I'm coming from, then we can respect the fact that you don't care for my self-worth. Yeah. And what we have to respect is that the world doesn't have to care for your self-worth, but my reputation. Yeah. Now that could be something that we have to consider. So therefore, ZZ, you know, the world doesn't need to know that you want to get your back blown out. You know, you just. Because respectfully for her, in her industry and what she's doing, there's a reputation that she has to maintain. Unfortunately, it comes with the territory. No different from a teacher in a school, no different from a hospital, no different from a politician. No different from a king and a queen. You know what I'm saying? And the royal family. There's a reputation that we have to maintain. But your reputation doesn't determine your self-worth. So ain't nobody expecting her to not get a back blown out whenever she feels like it. Ain't no one expecting that she's some Virgin Mary. Well, you know, I mean, she could present herself that way, but that's not the case. I mean, look at Whitney. What I fear the most is that we confuse self-worth with reputation. And what happens, sadly, is that we make our reputation so much more important than our self-worth that we live for the expectations of people. And when we live for the expectations of people, which is that we're afraid of what people will say about us, we no longer live no more. It's very, very dangerous. So have your moments of madness, but have your moments of madness within the realms of people that you're allowed to be mad with. We're singing Whitney Houston's songs, gospel, whatever else. We don't know behind closed doors, her and Bobby are sniffing coke.
Drug addicts.
You know what I'm saying? But the reputation that we've been given from them is that. Now, sometimes when you're going down that road and you're proper trying to live to those expectations, you crack. And then you slip up sometimes. And then before you know it, you're messed up. Because after a while, you say to yourself, when can I be me?
I'm tired of acting.
I'm tired of acting. And you know what? We're doing Gabz TV now. And, you know, and we're doing this thing. And you know what? I said to a few people the other day, the reason why this works for me is because I can be myself. The moment I go into this industry and I'm no longer myself, which is that I have to be what in actual fact I'm expected to be because they pay me or because I'm sponsored or because of whatever else, that's when I have to be very careful of how much I dedicate my life to that thing. Yeah. I recognize that it's just a job. One wise man, I ain't gonna say who, in my career, when I was doing the mentoring, like schools wise, and I was going hard the way I was going, I wanted to change the world, Loso. And I thought in my mind, to change the world, I had to also represent that change. And I pushed myself to change, to be what in actual fact, the model of what it is that they need me to be in order for me to inspire them. Until I realized, until that man spoke to me one time when I asked him, how have you been doing this for 50 years? My man said, it's just a job. Gabriel, it's just a job. Which is that you conduct yourself as a professional. You represent yourself as a professional. You act in accordance to that profession. But your life away from that profession, completely separate. So respectfully, I can understand why a lot of celebrities, they'll do the camera thing for a bit, then they go and disappear far in the wind because maybe they do want to sniff some coke. Maybe they do want to take some weed. Maybe they do want to drink and go crazy. They don't want the camera on them all the time because they recognize that it's just a job. It's their profession to maintain a certain standard. But those professions don't determine your self-worth. That's an internal thing. So, ZZ, your self-worth is completely separate from your reputation. And to expect every single person to understand that your self-worth is much more than your reputation is bad for you, my darling. Because respectfully, when we hear you talk and you say things like giving blows or doing this or doing that, naturally what we're gonna, no, not what we, naturally what they're gonna think is all you're trying to do is blow bare cock. When truthfully, they don't know your self-worth. That's not who you are. What you're doing is you're basically talking about something that really and truly people sometimes feel uncomfortable to talk about, but are happy to hear you say it because they want someone else to be on that. Don't allow your reputation in your profession to determine your self-worth. We know your worth. And you're 10 times more worth more than all of the things that people say. So it's calm. That self-worth is a personal thing, Zizi. It's got nothing to do with your reputation or, you know, who you are. And if we confuse those things, we somehow live to the expectations of people. And if we live to the expectations of people, we're no longer comfortable with who we are. I don't live to people's expectations. So I comfortably say, I have moments. If I've done everything that I need to do in my job, in my career, with my son, in my life, when I choose to have a drink, leave me alone.
Well, let's get on to the next video then.
That expectation is real, you know.
Oh, for real.
Where it's very dangerous. Imagine you could do everything in society, everything that says that you're a responsible man in society. Finish school, graduate, get a job, buy a house, be a good African, be a good Britishman. All of the things that say you're a man, all for what? To meet the expectations of what society says is a good man. And when you do that, imagine, you now have to maintain that still. Pick a good wife, pick a this, don't do this, don't do that. My guy, if I've done all the things that society expects of me to be considered a good man, when I go to the block and I eat my Chinese, don't talk. Because that's a personal thing. I want to enjoy myself. I want to enjoy.
Just chill with the man, them, you know.
I want to chill with the guys and chat some shit. Hey, shout out to ZZ though, man. Shout out to ZZ.
For instance, I don't think men do what they do for women. I think men do what they do for men. I think men get girls for men. Yes.
It's a status thing.
When it's like,
what do you mean men get girls?
let me explain. I can explain. Let me just explain. I'll just speak like, if I'm linking 5 girls, it don't mean nothing if I don't tell the man them.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more with you, mate. I couldn't agree more. When I was back in the day,
status thing, yeah.
Honestly, back in the day when I was younger and I used to play around, I've been on hundreds of dates, right? I used to walk in the office.
How many dates have you been? Hundreds of dates, yeah.
Hundreds, mate. I've been on plenty of dates, yeah. And this is it, mate. I've got a good routine, don't you always worry. I'll teach you boys a thing or two, no, I'm kidding. But it's like, it was though, you get the validation from telling your boys, mate, last night was fucking sick, you won't believe she stayed over, all this shit. And
Wow, that guy had me until he said the men part. You got to tell your friends.
What, you don't think that the man them Clark girls for approval of other men?
No, I think a man them, when they did it when we was younger, we did it and we was happy to tell the man them only because we're gassed that we're actually getting girls, not because of what he's talking about. I mean, how does that? When guys when guys went for girls, them times there, and you had like 5 different girls, it wasn't to be able to tell the guys you got 5 different girls. You went with 5 different girls because you liked all the sweets in the fucking Haribo packet.
What do you mean by that?
You get a packet of Haribos. Fam, one of them is a Coca-Cola bottle. One of them is an egg. One of them is the ring. They all taste different.
What was the heart?
One of them is the heart. You don't get a packet of Haribos and just go for the Coca-Cola bottle. You want to go for all different types of sweets in the packet. So some of the girls, they come slim. Some of them come big. Some of them come cute. Some of them come fast. When you're younger, you're told what to like. But as you see their variety, it's like, fam, I like you. But I like you too. But I like you too. So then what happens, is you want to share the fact that you like all these girls. It's not that you want to say it because that's what you do it for man. Because man, what are you talking about? What's that got to do with it? Bro, you just want all the sweets and Haribo, which is that you want to have your cake and eat it. That's what it is. And even if those girls, if those Haribo sweets are bad for you, you still want to eat it anyway. Because it's too sweet. You're not wondering what's going to happen if you have too much sweet. You'll be scratching your bum because your bum is itching. I hear where he's coming from, but that you lost me. And I was actually hoping he was going to come with some science. Nah, man, get real. But maybe down his, he sounds like he's from Birmingham. Yeah, maybe down his size, that's what they did. Yeah. Guys will happily go and tell the bros, yeah, you clotted because it was a new thing. Once you got past the feeling of, clotting, it's not a new thing, which for some of us, it was like really early. It's like, bro, you just don't know what the problem is. Your heart could be with that girl, but your desires could be with that girl, which is that she could make you feel gooey and loving inside, but her titties just make her look amazing. You can't control it. You know what I'm saying? Because you desire too many women. So really and truly, what it should have been is, you shouldn't have been with that girl in the first place. You should have been what it is that you was always trying to be, which is an explorer. You wasn't ready to take one packet of sweets, the Buzz sweet, and just have the one Buzz sweet. It has 4 key rings. What you wanted to do was take the Buzz, pick a mix. Because you hadn't figured out which sweet you like the most yet. You know what I'm saying? So when you pick a mix, it's like you just want variety. But when you start saying, I just want the Coca-Cola bottle only, you begin to know what you like. This is what you want. Do you know what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with telling guys or doing it because of guys. Come on, man.
Shout out to my man anyway.
Yeah, shout out to him though, yeah, man.
Yeah, he was saying a lot. Let's go on to the next one.
That's a funny one though. I was proper waiting for him to come out with something next.
Women on average tend to have a cynical expectation of men. It's this posture of, you have to prove to me that you're good enough, while simultaneously expecting that he assumes that you are good enough. Most women aren't coming to this proverbial table acknowledging their faults and saying, this is what I need to work on. Most are coming saying that this is what you need to work on. So even when a woman is encountered with a man who was raised by both parents, there's still an assumption that he has some emotional shortcoming or he doesn't express himself properly. Some women talk to men from a place of emotional or intellectual superiority, and it sets that precedent, and that's what makes him defensive, because now he feels like, challenging. You're challenging me and you're expecting the worst out of me. If men are being asked to have grace for women, do our due diligence to understand all the intricacies of what the woman has been through, even her natural cycles and the whole nine, and how that affects her disposition, there needs to be that work done from the female delegation for men, I'm hearing from men that that's not the case. Women are assuming that they've already done the work.
It's a lot to take in, isn't it?
What does cynical mean again?
Let me read that out. Hold on 1 second.
I think cynical is like a bad word. Is that a bad word?
Kind of. Cynical means believing that people are motivated purely by self-interest, distrustful of human sincerity or integrity. An example of that would be he was brutally cynical and hardened to every sob story under the sun.
Yeah, I don't agree with him.
How comes?
You're supposed to have expectations of people. If a woman feels that this man or wants this man to be this type of way and has this expectation of a man, it's not your job to live to a woman's expectation. If you feel like you need to live to the woman's expectation, that's not the woman's fault. That's your fault. Because who told you to live to that particular woman's expectation? What you should have been able to say straight away if you was an emotionally secure and intelligent man is, I don't live to your expectations. And sometimes with women, their expectations is not cynical. It's actually coming, and let me not say cynical because I don't really get the word cynical. It's not coming from a bad place. Sometimes it's coming from a good place. It's that the delivery is often shit. And why the delivery is shit is because they're not looking at it from a sensible standpoint. They're looking at it from pure emotion. Sometimes they encourage you in such a way that says to you as a man, you're taking the piss out of me. You're insulting who I am and where I'm from. And that man could be doing well in their industry, but because the woman's belittling what they're doing, because in her mind, she can see that you could be way more. Your insecurities kick in. Your insecurities kick in because what you're expecting for her to do is appreciate where you are. And no one said she didn't appreciate where you are. Problem is how you're listening to what she's saying, your interpretation of what she's saying is where you are is not good enough. And that's not what she's saying. She's actually saying what she needs to say to push you to get even higher. Because as far as she's concerned, yes, you're doing great here, but I feel as a woman, darling, you could be here. Problem is that their delivery is not always the best.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Their delivery is not always the best. So, and it sounds like I'm defending women, but I'm not defending women. I'm more of male empowerment. If I have a 1-bedroom shack and I tell you as a woman, this is what I have, and I'm providing, yeah? And you tell me it's not good enough, why are you here with me is my next question. Not, I'm going to do, no. Because if this is how I can provide, if what you're expecting is much more than what I can give, then it means that you and I are not compatible. And I have to make the conscious emotional decision to decide, no, you're not for me. Because respectfully, you can't see where I am. You don't even realize I might be coming from generations that have never owned their place. And I could be the first out of 4 generations of people to finally own this 1-bedroom shack. And you have not respected the fact that this is what it is. And the fact that you haven't respected that means you don't respect me. And if you don't respect me, it means that I can't be with you. But you want to blame a woman for you wanting to meet the expectations of a woman. Forget whether she's come from her parents' house. Forget whether she's come from this or whatever else. Stop placing too much value on women. Take accountability for your own emotions here. Why did you meet her expectations like that? Why? I'm hearing a lot of woman, but I'm not hearing as a man. Because a man is a man. Yeah? In this 1-bedroom shack, 4 of our kids are going to live here. Me, you, and 4. I'll make it work. And if I need to go and get a bigger place, I'll go and do that. You didn't need to tell me that. I already knew that. But it's nice to know that you're thinking the same as me. If where I am is not good enough, leave. Because you're telling me that I'm not good enough. Do you understand that, love? So for me, it's not wrong for women to have expectations. It's not wrong for women to have standards, whether they believe it to be they're right or whether they believe it to be not. Because she could turn around and say, I'm worth 100 million. Or in fact, forget she. I could turn around and say, well, in order for me to come on your podcast, for me to talk, it's going to be 10K. Now, in my mind, I could turn around and say, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, that's my expectation. That's what I'm worth. The person that's asking me to come on could turn around and say, come on, fuck you, stupid. Who told you that? You lucky I invited you on. As far as I'm concerned, the studio that you've got, you pay to record. They don't pay. But you know, sometimes you can accept that some people are delusional. And your delusions have led you to believe that I'm going to pay you to come on mine when on your own show, you pay to do your own show. So if I give you 10K, what am I going to gain from giving you 10K? Why would they meet the expectations of what I have of myself? You'd have to be the most stupidest guy in the world or desperate. Woman now comes and says, oh, well, if it's not a 5-bedroom house detached, well, me and you can't, whatever. Motherfucker. Hello, motherfucker. Why have you stopped and sat there and asked yourself, see, this 5-bedroom that you're talking about, where's your 5-bedroom? Have you got 3? Or even 2? Where's all the things that allow you to talk like this? I'm confused. Was you?
The Lulu.
But instead of doing that, because of the tuntun, because you're so mesmerized by the tuntun, and tuntun is power, you are now going to go and rob the bank to go and get that 5-bed. So badly for that tuntun. Did she tell you to do that or did you do that? All she did was set her expectations. Motherfucker, you so stupid. You actually went to go out of your way to go and let's just say you did that now and you got nicked. She done moved on. You now, it's your fault I did it. Motherfucker. Who told you to come and do that? Leave that to the law.
Not the tuntun's good tuntun, you know. Have man moving mad.
You knew her expectations was the shard. But you always go to Wingwa. But for that tuntun, you broke the bank and maybe stole from your mum to go to the shard. Who told you to do that?
Shout out, Wingwa.
Shout out to Wingwa. If your universe was not good enough for her, why did you continue to pursue it? You allowed yourself to be emotionally manipulated, in which case you're not emotionally intelligent. And that emotional intelligence you need, because women naturally are emotionally intelligent without even knowing. Women have a way of talking and maneuvering that can send a man left. Don't even know it. Some of them, they do know it. And the ones that do know it,
Run away.
Some of them unknowingly, you've whispered something you don't even realize, but they realize that what I whispered, the man is registering. He's going to go out and he's going to figure it out. Anything to prove to me that in actual fact he can do it. He wants to be a man for me. And they love that shit. But they don't realize how damaging it is for men. You underestimating women and the power of women, you're a fool. Julius Caesar himself lost an empire because of woman. If one of the most powerful people in Rome can lose because of woman, who is you and I? You better wake up. Nobody told you to do that. And when I'm saying what I'm saying, because I get a lot of guys like, no, not a lot. One guy in particular, Gabz, oh, it's women. You see this thing of accountability? Don't play with me when it comes to accountability loss. I cannot blame a woman for my own actions. I can't blame you for my own actions. Man, I'm man. I blame myself. I've allowed you to believe that your tuntun is so righteous that I've gone to go and rob a bank. Wow. And now I'm in jail. I place so much value in that tuntun, it's bad. I mesmerized myself. So, I hear what you're saying. Women should have expectations. Men also should have their own expectations. And if for some strange reason you can't meet their expectations, why are you killing yourself to get that woman? I know what we've been told to do, which is that when it's time to get a woman, you do everything and more. But respectfully, if you start going out of your way to go and do all of this to go and get the woman, and you get her, to maintain that is the problem. And what will happen later on is she'll turn around and say, what happened to the guy that I met? What happened to the guy from before? This cool guy in the club and Van Boy, yeah, whatever else. Nah, I'm entering your real life and this is what we're really living like. And you don't even realize that that's the way we are manipulative emotionally. Because we'll do everything you need us to do. The shard, birthday presents, sweet talk. Everything is blessed, it's comfortable. Not knowing we're struggling. Because for Tuntun, we found a new power. We'll find an avenue. Even if you couldn't afford that thing, I will also swear to you, we can bump our own friend to afford that thing, just so that we make sure you believe this is the life you're going to live until we grab you. Then you see us where we are. You say, what happened to this guy? As you was doing me, was I not doing you? With all your expectations.
Man, I forget.
You know, what I would love in my heart is that every man approach a woman who they are. But I know sometimes who you are may not suit the woman that you're trying to achieve. In which case you need to adjust who you are until you can get what you ultimately want to get. Tuntun. The power of Tuntun. And them girls, they know, some of them they know so well that before they even give it to you, you've almost bought an island in Ghana. Now, whose fault is that? A woman's fault or your fault?
No, it's your fault.
Take accountability.
Yeah. What about the part where he talks about women? So men are expected to do the work on themselves, and women haven't done the work, or the natural assumption that women have done the work on themselves. So because obviously you said they're naturally emotionally intelligent.
They're not naturally emotionally intelligent.
But
Sorry.
the perception is
The
they're
perception
more
is
emotionally intelligent.
They're
than
more
us.
emotional than us, but
Yeah.
intelligence is a different thing. You know, they don't always know it. But yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, so that's what I'm saying. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, a man or a man a woman? Are we not designed to lead? So in the leading process, tell me, what are you expecting? The Godfather said it himself. Women and children can be careless, but not men. Women and children can be emotional, but not men. We operate 30% emotion, 70% sense. That 70% sense is what we call mental stimulation. We're mentally astute. We know what we're doing. We know how we're doing it. So no matter how much her emotions go wayward by asking for 5 gram bags and 10 gram bags, we have the mental capacity to deal with those emotions. We then know how to tell you to take the 2 gram bag instead of the 10 gram bag and still make you love us. Because we don't expect you to see the bigger picture all the time. You're not designed to lead the way we are. We're meant to be leaders. The expectation on us is completely different from them. And the moment that you start saying that we both have the same expectations, is the moment that I say that we're both equal. And the reality is that even though the idea of being equal is wonderful, also, are we equal? In an ideal world, yes. But we live in a reality. Also, are we equal? So why do you expect to get the same treatment as women? Why do you expect to get away with the same things that women get away with? you and I go to Dubai tomorrow. I don't think any woman is going to pay for us to drink. I don't think anyone's going to pay for us to have dinner. You and me are two baddies. Breast, ass, lips, cute face. I reckon if we go to Dubai, somebody's going to want to buy us a drink. Why are you so eager to be a woman? That's how it works. What do you want to do? We don't have the same expectations. If a woman turns around and says, I've got my own house, I've got this, I've got my own car, I've got my own career, whatever else, you know what we say? We say, well done. Wow. That's amazing. When a man says it, what do we say? Yeah, good job. I mean, what else? What did you, I'm confused. Was you expecting the gold medal or something? What did you do?
What the hell?
Because that's what you're required to do. I don't get it. You know? So that one there, stop confusing men and women. But if you want to confuse men and women because you want to make yourselves believe that we're equal, then fair enough. That's up to you. But man and man don't think like that. We understand it for what it is that women are women and men are men.
And that's it.
What do you want to do?
On that one. There, boy. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to all the love it was shown.
Yeah. No.
Another episode. Is there another back chat episode?
There should be.
Okay.
I think Zoe's doing edits and she's trying to make it happen. So there should be.
Hopefully this comes out before the episode. We'll see.
Come on.
Peace.
Come on.